Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? YouTube, you guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, we got another story for you guys about labor shortages and food shortages. We've been doing these stories for a couple of weeks. Initially, it started out with kind of labor shortage stories, right? Everything from warehouses to trucking, and especially the hospitality industry, restaurants, fast food, and hotels were struggling to find workers. And more recently, we've been hearing about shortages of supplies, whether that be food shortages, shortages of lids at Starbucks. I've noticed in recent weeks, Dunkin' Donuts has kind of switched the type of lids that they put on their iced coffees and cold brews, I imagine because they couldn't get the other ones. Earlier today, actually in recent weeks, we've done a story about labor shortages at Taco Bell. This morning, we did a story not only about the labor shortages at Taco Bell, but also the food shortages. They have no chicken, they have no beef, they have no hot sauce, and they have no 10-inch tortillas. So now we've kind of got two things going on, right? In addition to the labor shortages going on, we've also got food and supply shortages. And we also did another interesting story the other week about how rich people in the Hamptons were having to mow their own lawns and weed whack their own yards. Well, now summer camps are beginning to shut down, again, because of labor shortages, not enough staff, as well as food shortages. They can't get deliveries from a lot of these kind of bulk food suppliers. So this story comes to us from Zero Hedge. It's titled Summer Camp for Rich Kids Closes Due to Labor and Food Shortages. An expensive summer camp for rich kids in New Hampshire has closed over labor and food shortages, according to the Concord Monitor. Camp Quinabarge, located in Moultonborough, a small town in New Hampshire, informed parents on July 2nd that the camp had to close because of labor and food shortages. While we can work through many issues at camp, this is not one in our control. Many camps are facing the prospect of closing today, the camp's leaders wrote. This is obviously an untenable situation. A few minutes ago, I was forced to inform our staff we will close down for the summer beginning tomorrow. And this really kind of sucks for these camps. Not only are they not going to have money coming in, to operate their business and kind of pay the staff and everything like that, but a big summer camp like this, even if nobody's there, there's still, maintenance costs and costs of maintaining this camp and make sure it doesn't get, overgrown with weeds and, make sure everything is kind of upkept. So, they're out of business, essentially. They're not going to be making any money, and they're still going to have to upkeep this big property. The article goes on to say parents who spent anywhere from $3,400 for 2 weeks per child or up to $10,000 for an 8-week stay were hoping for some personal time after a year of being cooped up with the entire family. That was not the case, as a summer of challenges beginning with staffing levels when in a 2-day period, just 10 of 25 staff arrived. In all, just 36 of 60 original hires arrived, the camp told parents. Adding to that, Sysco Corporation's food orders to the camp were erratic. The fatal blow to the camp was the lack of food deliveries by Sysco, according to camp executive director Eric Carlson. We had delayed orders and were told to expect more in the future, said Carlson. Labor shortages at the camp prevent staff from driving to wholesale stores to buy hundreds of pounds of food. Going to BJ's, and I assume BJ's is something like Sam's Club or Costco or GFS. Going to BJ's was not an option for us, as it would have taken too many staff and vehicles going back and forth all day, Carlson said. Quinabarge is working to refund parents who spent thousands of dollars for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8-week sessions for their children. He said staffing and logistic issues are also plaguing other summer camps across New Hampshire. In the town of Freedom, Camp Huckins experienced similar issues with Vendor Performance Food Group, or PFG, due to a truck driver shortage. We were impacted when PFG stopped their seasonal deliveries to camps because they had a shortage of drivers, as they were a major provider for us, said Executive Director Heather Kiley. PFG spokesperson explained that the issues were due to supply chain issues and labor shortages affecting the entire food logistical industry. Down the street from Camp Huckinson, Camp Calumet had difficulty sourcing food from Sysco. The problem is widespread, and it does not seem fair to blame Sysco. Other food suppliers are not delivering at all. The supply chain seems very broken. It is just another bump in a very complicated year and a half for the camping industry, Executive Director Carl Olgren of the camp said. To sum up, parents who wanted to spend some alone time by shipping their kids off to camp this summer will have to wait until next year due to a disorganized economic recovery where shortage of everything persists. These issues are considered to be quote-unquote transitory by the Biden administration, but continue into the second half of the year. So I'm going to cut this video short. I'm sitting in the gym parking lot, going to run and get my workout in and go get some dinner, but thought you guys would enjoy this article. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.